Kristin Joyner with Living Down South Realty, and today we're going to talk about buyer's agency. We're going to talk about the duties that a buyer agent has to you as the consumer, reasons why you should consider hiring a buyer's agent, and how you can negotiate the best deal for your next new home. Welcome to my online buyer presentation. I'm Kristin Joyner with Living Down South. Just wanted to go through a couple little things about myself. This is my 30th year in real estate. I was licensed in Rochester, New York in 1994. I grew up in Athens, Georgia, originally from that area. And I love real estate. And the reason why I love real estate is because I like helping people navigate change. And I actually am pretty good at holding space for you guys. When you trigger the idea of moving, or when you start thinking of moving, it can create kind of a lot of a fear of the unknown and can create a little bit of anxiety. So my job is to help you through the process. I am an accredited buyer representation through the National Association of Realtors, and all that means is that I've taken a class and educated myself on how I can help buyers be able to buy and sell real estate. So as a buyer, one of the very first things that I want to learn as your buyer's agent is I really want to learn about your goals. I want to learn, and I'll ask you a lot of open-ended questions. I want to learn on the reason why you want to own a home. And we're going to talk a lot about that. Sometimes it can be reasons such as simple as I really want to be able to grill out on my back porch and I haven't been able to in an apartment complex. It may be that I'm adding family members and I need a little bit more room, or it could be that I just need to downsize my life and I need to go into something that's a little bit more affordable, or maybe something that's more manageable. We are going to learn about finances. About 70% of the deals that I do have a mortgage, people applying for a mortgage. So we're going to get you in touch with different lenders that can walk you through that finance process. It can be overwhelming. I want you to be prepared for that. There's a lot of paperwork that they ask for. It can be a little confusing as far as what's the best loan product for you. But I have lenders that I like to refer that really can walk you through the process and make it as easy and as possible to be able to navigate. We're going to talk about your time frame, when you need to move. Are we trying to move around a specific date, such as starting school? We trying to move around a brand new job. We're going to look at the different areas that you want to move to. And here I want you to be open. Sometimes buyers get kind of specific on one area. Be open to maybe exploring other areas too. And you may be the kind of buyer that you're not 100% sure exactly where you want to land. So we can kind of get the stats on the different counties and the different cities and then let you make a decision from there. I want to learn about what type of property do you desire? Do you want a lake view? Do you want a dock? Do you want to golf? Do we want to live on the ocean and the beach? Do we want to live in the mountains and have a fantastic, majestic view when we wake up? Those are all really important. And then I also want to know about your family members. Raymond and I moved around 5 times in 6 years. And guess what? The number one thing, that the reason why we bought a house is because we had animals. We had dogs, and we always tried to find a home with a fence. So I want to learn those types of things about you and your family. So when we meet, I'm going to be asking you to sign a sheet of paper, and it is going to be an acknowledgement of how the real estate brokerage, Living Down South, is compensated. Now, this isn't going to be a written buyer agreement. This is just an acknowledgement saying that you understand how Living Down South is paid. I cannot give you confidential information in this sense. I work for the seller still when we first meet. Once we enter into a written buyer's agency agreement, you hire Living Down South Realty, then I am able to work for you and I'm able to share with you the numbers that I think the house is potentially the predicted offer price that should be made. We can actually negotiate that offer specifically to meet your terms and your specifications. So that can only be done once we have that written buyer's agency agreement and you have agreed to hire Living Down South Realty. So these are some of the steps in the home buying process. So again, hiring the agent, figuring out the financing, getting that pre-qualification letter, starting to get interested in looking at houses. We are getting more and more houses on the market right now than we have seen in 3 years. So it's getting a little harder for us to discover those houses on the public sites such as Zillow. So we'll get you fed into an auto drip of the MLS, and then I'll be looking for homes for you as well. We're going to make an offer. We're going to find that perfect house that you really want to make an offer on. We're going to describe that offer to be creative to where we can be accepted. And then get the inspections that you need on the home, make sure that the house is the value that you need it to be in order to have that qualification of the mortgage, and then get you guys to the closing table. So as your buyer's agent, these are some of the activities in which I will do, from negotiating the best deal for you to coordinating home showings, to be able to provide you a list of different inspections that I would recommend, as well as inspectors that potentially can do that. And then also kind of overcome any objections that we have, such as if we've got a construction issue on the home, something that may need to be repaired, getting you in touch with experts that can guide you through that. Some of my duty as well is just overseeing all the back end, making sure that the deal gets to the closing table, and some of the administrative things such as setting the closing time, coordinating with the loan officer, coordinating with the closing attorney, that all of the things are being done, titles being checked so that we can have a successful close. So one of the most important parts of the home buying process for 70% of the population is going to be that pre-approval process. And I will be honest with you, the lender asks for so much documentation, it can be overwhelming. So be aware, know that this is normal, and just try to provide as much information as they're requesting. Again, I feel like literally the lender wants your entire filing cabinet in your office. So just be open to be able to provide that for them. And then we'll give you a list in advance to where you can start gathering up this information early. Now, what I want from you is I want you to tell me what your dream home looks like. And then my duty is to go out and find it. We can find a FSBO. We can work with a FSBO. So if you see a FSBO, send it to me and let me work out the whole compensation to Living Down South. We will schedule viewings around your time. It can be in the nights and weekends when you are home from work. And then also we're going to look at areas. And again, I may drag you to an area that you didn't think you wanted to live in, but do know that I do that because I want to make sure that we're uncovering every rock before we hone in onto one house. Now, one question that you're going to get super tired of answering, but you're going to have to answer it, is I'm going to constantly be asking you, if you were to buy a house today, which one would it be? And what I'm doing is I'm narrowing down the list of homes that I'm going to show you. On average, a home buyer is going to look between 7 to 9 homes. And when you are really looking at, let's say, 4 houses in an afternoon, all the living rooms get mixed up. The floor plan gets mixed up, you get confused. So when I narrow it down, it allows you to carry your favorite forward, which makes the process of elimination much easier. When you hire me as your buyer's agent, I am constantly on the back end looking at the vital stats. I want to make sure that we have a house that's going to appraise. I'm going to make sure that we have a house that's going to meet the criteria that we need to be able to get the loan, and that we are, kind of making an offer based on these 7 vital stats. If that house has been on the market for a while, we may want to consider ways to creatively make an offer to where we can win the deal to get you guys in the house. So we're going to take a look at all these 7 vital stats and structure the offer based on this. What I can guarantee from myself is open and clear communication. This is a hot and heavy relationship that we are going to have. You're going to talk with me quite a bit in the home searching process and during the home buying process, and you need to be able to reach out to me and for me to give you a response. My phone is on at 7 in the morning, and I have it on, and I'm in bed at about 9:30, but those dogs get me up at 7. So I am available. I text, email, as well as call. So I know sometimes it's easier for you guys at work to text me, and that's perfectly fine. You are never, ever bothering me. This is my job. My job is to provide you with open and clear communication, to communicate to and from to the listing agent, and then get that information directly to you. So transparency is very, very crucial at this stage for me. Trust me, I am maintaining your trust with clear rapport, negotiating and structuring the sale. And this is where I get to be creative. Many of you guys know that I love dabbling in art. So we're going to look at those 7 vital stats. We're going to structure the offer around that. If we have a house that may need a nice little paint job, there are ways that we can ask maybe for the seller to contribute towards your closing costs, keeping more money in your pocket to apply towards those home improvements. We could even ask for home improvements if the seller is in a financial, or maybe the ability to, some sellers, when they're ready to sell, they just don't want to deal with the house. They want to sell it as is. It's almost like they've checked out. It's an asset. They want to sell it. They don't want to do anything else to it. So we could structure the sale to where, if they're willing to make improvements, great. If they're willing not to make improvements, we can structure and negotiate around that. And that's my job. As your agent, I will help you negotiate the best offer for you so that it meets your timeline. It also satisfies the finance component and then gets you into the home that you really wanted to live in. I also complete the transaction. So I am your point of contact. I do not have an assistant that works on the back end. I am the point of contact to talk with everybody to make sure that everything at the closing table is there ready for signatures. And I will be clear in my communication to all parties to make sure that we all show up there and we get everything signed. I am very proud of actually being friends with a lot of my clients at the end of the sale. And I think that, like energy attracts like energy, but I want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable in reaching out to me after everything is done. If you end up having any kind of issue, or let's say you want to go into a home improvement project, that you can ask me. I've got many different people that I can refer. Again, I cover from Metro Atlanta all the way to Western Upstate, and I want to make sure that I am available. If you guys ever need my expertise, you guys, I'm just a phone call away. So thank you so much for watching my video today. I look forward to working with you potentially as a buyer's agent, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.